Most people know about Sonic the Hedgehog, and here on the internet it is very hard not to have heard about his decline. But very few people know that Sonic's creation and decline was secretly orchestrated by the world's most famous gaming company, Nintendo. This is the true story of how Nintendo created Sonic. In the year 1982, Nintendo had a huge problem. Universal had sued them over the rights to Donkey Kong, claiming that he is a rip-off of their movie character King Kong. This was really bad news for Nintendo because Donkey Kong was supposed to be their mascot. And with a huge probability that they will lose the rights to Donkey Kong, they had to find a new mascot for the company. The first proposal was that Kirby should be the new mascot for Nintendo, but this was ultimately rejected because Kirby had not been invented yet. This was also true for all the other great Nintendo characters, which left them with one last option: Mario. Nintendo's boss at the time, Shigeru Miyamoto, knew that Mario would have a hard time to sell Nintendo games by his design alone, so he had a plan to fix this. Miyamoto knew that competition is only there to make you look good, so what if there was a competitor to Nintendo with a mascot so ugly and a game so bad that Mario would look good in comparison? Then people could start to view Mario as a sign of quality, and he thought he had found the perfect competitor to financially invest in: Sega. Nintendo spies have gotten information that Sega was developing a video game with the most hideous looking character imaginable. The character was supposed to be a short, fat, disfigured, blue hedgehog. All of the top staff working for Nintendo thought this design sounded absolutely awful, and there was no way this design could even turn out to be decent. They were so convinced that Sonic would be ugly that they didn't even look at the report of the game's quality that he was starring in. Nintendo was extremely excited to see Sega release the new game, Sonic the Hedgehog. But when the game was released, Nintendo was in complete shock. The character design of the main character, Sonic the Hedgehog, looked alright. Then when they put the design right next to Mario, they realized it had the opposite effect they had hoped for. Sonic started to look really cool, and Mario started to look like Mario. The best thing that could happen for Nintendo now is that Sega's new game would sell bad. But this did not happen. The game was a huge success and sold a lot. Nintendo's plan had completely backfired, and they accidentally created a new rival on the gaming market. The only good thing that happened during this time was that Nintendo won the lawsuit against Universal, because Universal did only have the rights to the movie of King Kong and not the character or story. This means that Donkey Kong is a completely legal ripoff. Now back to these losers. Nintendo decided to ignore Sonic and hoped that his popularity would just fade away. But Sega was making more Sonic games that were well received. This just made Sonic more popular. But when Bubsy was released, Nintendo was really pissed. Because it was obvious for Nintendo that Sega did the same thing Nintendo tried to do. Different from Nintendo's attempt is that this time it worked, and people thought that Sonic was even cooler. After saying that Sonic's popularity would not fade, Nintendo decided something had to be done. With a new thing like the internet, Nintendo got an idea how they could ruin Sonic. They started to make a lot of not safe for work pictures of Sonic and started to post them online to make Sonic fans look like weirdos. They also started to financially support the weirdest Sonic fans there was, so the general public would want to dissociate with Sonic. Nintendo also started to send their spies to sabotage the Sonic games. They successfully made the people at Sonic Team to think that Rouge the Bat was a good and appropriate character for the franchise. Nintendo spies also got Big the Cat in the game, with the argument that Sonic games needed to have representation of the mentally disabled. But the worst sabotage Nintendo made was Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Their spies made sure that the game would be delayed and be a buggy mess. Nintendo was also very happily surprised that Sega decided to hire some of the most popular Sonic fan fiction writers at the time to write the story. And we all know who made sure they were popular. Sonic 2006 was a huge failure and the Sonic franchise never recovered from this. Nintendo's plan was a huge success, and today Nintendo's original plan has also been achieved, and that is that Sonic should only be there to make Mario look good. This is also why Nintendo will never completely destroy Sonic, and why they decided to tone down with the sabotaging. In the 2019 Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer, Nintendo decided to show the world how they originally thought Sonic was going to look like. Finally, Sega has gotten my letters that Hatsumiko should be in a Sonic game.